guess this is part 3. We're getting telephone calls. And so within every human being, we have a genetic information download from the originator. And this information, supreme wisdom, will allow us to remember. Okay, it allow us to. It will improve our memory. It will perform a spiritual lobotomy, where it will realign, all of this history that we are aware of, unaware of, but it's there, and it will benefit us to, be clear about, all that is within us, all that is outside of us, all that we are connected to, that we are, ready to use, so that we're ready to use that information now to benefit, ourselves as individuals and as people. So going forward with the Friday 22 teaching points for the Supreme Wisdom Daily Reading Courses. Again, this is Friday, the 31st of July, 2020. And I am Melchezidek Kenny Muhammad, and we're going to go forward. Excuse me. Must take a commercial break for some Young God Juice. Young God Juice. That's younggodjuice.com. Younggodjuice.com. It's a better water. Okay. Accomplishments up front. I'm going to start over. Application. Application for enlistment in the fruit of Islam will be accepted on the approval of their holy names. Names of devils are not counted of any value in the fruit of Islam. Devils must stay away. The restrictive law of Islam is our success at any time. Anyone who fails to be 100% in the law shall be dismissed from his or her post. The uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan lives in the wilderness of North America, and he is living other than himself. Therefore, he weighs more than his height, and his blood pressure registers more than 31. This kills him at an age of 44 years. The average person breathes 3 cubic feet of air per hour, but the uncle of W.D. Farrakhan breathes 3 7/10 of a cubic foot per hour. How many feet of air did Mr. W.D. Farrakhan's uncle breathe in 44 years? How many atoms did he breathe in all of his 44 years, when 1/100th of a cubic inch contains 200 million atoms? Next talking point. The second uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan in the wilderness of North America lived other than himself, and therefore his blood pressure registered over 32. He had fever, headaches, chills, gripe, hay fever, regular fever, rheumatism, also pains in all joints. He was disturbed with foot ailments and toothaches. His pulse beat more than 88 times per minute. Therefore, he goes to the doctor every day and gets medicine for every day in the year, 1 after each meal and 3 times a day. Also 1 at bedtime. The average person breathes 3 cubic feet of air per hour, but the second uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan breathed 4.5 cubic feet of air per hour. 500 pills equal 1 pound. So that kills him at the age of 46. How many pounds of pills did Mr. W.D. Farrakhan's second uncle use in 46 years? How many cubic feet of air did he breathe in 46 years? If the air value selling point, then the third uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan would have been robbed of the atmosphere. How much air did he breathe more than the average man? Each cubic foot of air costs $10.50. How much does Mr. W.D. Farrakhan's second uncle rob in 46 years? Now, 22 pills cost 25 cents. How much does this amount to in 46 years? Once a week, he gives the doctor $2.50 for renewing the prescription, and 52 weeks equals 1 year. So Mr. Muhammad wants to know how much money was spent for the pills and how much for the doctor. $10.50 for the person who works this problem, this qualified Muslims only. Next talking point. If 1/100th of a cubic inch contains 200 million atoms, the total atmosphere weighs 11 2/3 quintillion pounds. 1/3 and 11 2/3 quintillion pounds equals atoms. Mr. Muhammad cracked one atom into 10 million parts. Then Mr. Sharif wants to know how much the 1/3 of a cracked atom weighs. Next talking point. 4 quintillion pounds equals the total amount of atoms. 1/100th of a square inch equals 2 million atoms. Extract the cubic root of 3/4 of a cracked atom. A cracked atom equals 1/10 thousandths of 1. Mr. D.W. Shaw wants to know what will be the weight of the cracked atom. Now, $100 is gold. $100 in gold for the person who works this problem, qualified Muslims. The question is, the population of Detroit is 1,500,000 people, and there are 250,000 original nations. During these hard times, for the lack of jobs, not having enough money to buy food, they eat 2 meals per day. Suppose the average person eats 4 ounces of bread, 10 1/5 ounce of poison animal, 3 1/3 ounce of rice, 4 1/8 ounces of other meal helper. It is known to the medical profession and other wise Muslim sons that poison animal sounds the mental power. 1/60th of an ounce per every 10 ounces of poison animal. If the average person contains 7 1/2 ounces of brain, then Mr. Muhammad wants to know how long will it take to sound the 7 1/2 ounces at the above eating rate. The average person can be robbed successfully with 1/3 of unsound brain. Then how long will a devil have to wait to rob of said the poison animal eater at the above rates? It is also known to the civilized world that 10 ounces of the poison animal destroys 3/100th% of the beauty appearance of a person. Then Mr. Muhammad wants to know, how long will it take to destroy the whole 100% of the beauty appearance at the above eating rate? Any student in the University of Islam will be rewarded by the Minister of Islam for solving this problem correctly. Prizes will be given to the neat and best worker. Get busy and submit your answers to the teacher at once. The reward and prizes are awaiting the best winner. Prize number 1, $100. Prize number 2, $50. Prize number 3, $25. Reward number 1, a large Quran Sharif. Reward number 2, a home Quran Sharif. Reward number 3, a pocket Quran Sharif. Next talking point. Lake Erie is 9,960 square miles, and the average depth is 1,960 feet. The uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan lives near this lake in the city of Detroit. Therefore, he uses the water from this caveman's lake for all household purposes. A certain cavie told him not to use much water if you can help it. So he only used 40 gallons per day. But the second uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan, who has civilized the cavie, when he used to live on the treetop and dug holes along the hillsides for nearly 2,000 years. The exact time will be for 4,000 BC. The exact time will be 4,000 BC. So this cavie cannot fool the second uncle of Mr. W.D. Farrakhan, and now he is using 200 gallons of water per day. Then, how long will it take the first and second uncle to empty the lake using water at the above rates? 1 cubic foot of water weighs 62.5 pounds. A certain teacher in the University of Islam, settlement number 2, wants to know, how many ounces of water is in Lake Erie? 16 ounces equal 1 pound. How many cubic inches in Lake Erie? 1,728 cubic inches equals 1 cubic foot. Next talking point. The Suez Canal in Egypt is 99 miles long with a depth of 33 feet and a width of 122 feet. The cost to build it 64 years ago was $150 million. Mr. A. Ali has $500 worth of stock in it at the rate of 6 3/5%. Now, he wants to know how much money he has coming to him at the above rate from 1869 to May 26, 1933. How many ounces of water is in the canal? How many cubic inches is in the canal? 1,728 cubic inches equal 1 cubic foot. 1 cubic foot equals 62.5 pounds of water. The Nile River, the longest river on the planet, is 4,690 miles long and 1.3 miles wide. How many square miles is the Nile River? How many square inches is the Nile River? Each student must submit answers to their teacher at once for grading and future reference. Devil names shall not be given credit. Registered Muslims only. The area of our planet is 196,940,000 square miles, and she weighs 60 sectillion tons. 66 sectillion tons. I thought it was 60. Mr. Shaw wants to know, how much does the state of Michigan weigh? Going by the book of Cave Out of Darkness, saying that the state of Michigan is 57,980 square miles and has a population of 4,842,280 people. 1 cubic foot of common earth weighs 80 pounds. 1 common cavity weighs 170 pounds. The average original weighs 150 pounds. And there are 500,000 original nations living in the state of Michigan. Approximately 8 million livestock of all kind. The average one weighs 659 pounds. And the construction of human are all over, and the construction of human all other than the level surface of the earth is approximately 150 billion tons. So then, how much does the state of Michigan weigh? How much does the livestock weigh? How much does the common weigh? How much does the original nation weigh? How much does the total ways of all weigh? Reward will be considered to the best and neatest worker of this problem. Hurry and lose no more time. Submit your answers to your teacher at once. Don't tell her that there was no one to teach for 379 years. She already knows and is trying to forget it. Now she will teach you quickly any course you may desire. Next talking point. After learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. You can also prove it at no limit of time. Then you must learn to use it and secure some benefit while you are living. That is, luxury, money, good homes, friendship in all walks of life. Set yourself in heaven at once. That is the greatest desire of your brother and teachers. Now you must speak the language, so you can use your mathematical theology in the proper terms. Otherwise, you will not be successful unless you do speak well, for she knows all about you. The Secretary of Islam offers a reward to the best and neatest worker of this problem. There are 26 letters in the language, and if a person learns 1 letter per day, then how long will it take him to learn the 26 letters? There are 10 numbers in the mathematic language. Then how long will it take a student to learn the whole 10 numbers at the above rate? The average man speaks 400 words considered well. Next talking point. The University of Al-Azhar in Cairo has a student population of 3,600, all but 1/10 taking other than his own language, 3/10 taking constructive engineering, 2/10 taking civil engineering, 3/10 taking mechanical engineering, and the rest taking teachership. 185 fifth of one had more than 8 absent charges to their credit. So at the end of their courses, they did not receive their diplomas. How many were there in number that did not take other than his own language? How many were construction engineers? How many were civil engineers? How many were mechanical engineers? How many were teachers? How many were in number that did not receive diplomas? The law of Islam prescribes that a student shall not be given a diploma if he has 8 or more absent charges in his account. Next, the planet Earth has a population of 4,800 million people. 44,000 million are the original nation, and 400 million are the KV civilization. They have been found absolutely disagreeable to live with in peace. So the originator decides to remove them from the planet. Suppose the holy war be declared tomorrow. What would be the exact number of persons to each KV against the original? Next point. Our Earth travels 1,037 1/3 miles per hour, and she travels around the sun in 365 1/4 days. How many miles does it travel in 365 1/4 days? Next, Mars, the inhabited planet, is 141,500,000 miles from the sun, and she travels 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. Her diameter is 4,000. Her diameter is 4,200 miles. Then Mr. Ali wants to know how many days will it take Mars to make one complete circumference around the sun. Mercury is also an inhabited planet and is 36 million miles from the sun. Her diameter is 3,000 miles. She travels at the same rate, 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. How many miles does Mercury cover in making one complete circle around the sun? What will be the number of days in the Mercurian year? Venus. Venus is 67,200,000 miles from the sun, and she makes one complete circle around the sun in 225 days, which is considered the Venusian common year. All planets travel approximately the same rate, 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. How many miles does Venus travel in 225 days? What is her area in square miles, since her diameter equals 7,000 miles? Jupiter. Jupiter is 483 million miles from the sun. She takes 11 years and 9 months to make one complete circle around the sun. Its diameter is 88,700 miles. What is the area in square miles, and how far is she from the Earth? Also, tell how many miles Jupiter travels in one common Jupiterian year. Saturn. Saturn is 886 miles from the sun. It takes her 29 and one half years to make one complete circle around the sun. Saturn also travels at the same rate, 1,037 and one-third miles per hour. How many miles does Saturn travel in 29 and one half years, which is considered a common year of Saturn's? Its diameter is 75,100 miles. Its diameter is 75,100 miles. Therefore, Mr. Muhammad wants to know what is the area in square miles of said Saturn. Uranus. Uranus is 1,782,000,000 miles from the sun, and it takes her 84 years to make one complete circle around the sun. Her diameter is 30,900 miles. How far is Uranus from the Earth? How many miles does she travel in 84 years at the rate of 1,037 and one-third miles per hour? What is her area in square yards? Neptune. Neptune is 2,793,000,000 miles from the sun. She travels around the Earth in 165 years. Her diameter is 33,000 miles. What is her area in square miles? How many miles does she travel in 1,065 years at the rate of 1,037 and one-third miles per hour? How far is she from the Earth? Platoon. Platoon is 4,600,000,000 miles from the sun, and she travels the same rate around the sun as the rest of the planets. It takes her 345 years to make one complete circle around the sun. Her diameter is 67,000 miles. Find out the square mileage and the number of miles she travels in 345 years. All of these are absolute facts, and they stand true, figure for figure, by the study of the Son of Man, and not a spook. Quote unquote, W.D. Farrakhan. Next talking point. The Public Library of Cairo contains 3,700,000 books, of which 66,000 treat exclusively mathematics, astronomy, language, and other sciences of life. Mr. Moses brought one book of each kind to civilize the devil 4000 BC. Now, Mr. Sharif wants to know from every one of you students to tell us how much knowledge does the devil possess, comparing him with knowledge of the original man, when he only had one book, while the original had 59,999. What would be the weight of knowledge in ratio proportion form of original against devil? What is the physical standard of a devil against the original? How many ounces of brain does an original have? What is the exact percentage of technology does the devil use at the present civilization? How long has the devil been on the planet using technology? Tell us how much. No. Tell us how and who manufactured the devil. All students must hurry and submit your answers to your teacher and the reward is awaiting the best and neatest worker of this problem. Best winner, $15. Second best winner, $10. Third best winner, $5. The talking point. The total atom equals 10 followed by 78 zeros, 78 ciphers, okay? The total atoms equal 10 followed by 78 ciphers. How many atoms are in there? How many atoms are there in North America? How many atoms are there in North America? That concludes our reading for Friday. Whew. That took approximately 3 different sessions, maybe an hour, almost an hour. Yeah. So with that said, we want to move forward and allow you to have your way with your day, because I'm looking forward to a fantastic day, a continuation of mastering website design. I'm doing this on my own with the help of YouTube, channel mentors like Tyler Moore and some other people. I'm motivated to design my own website because I paid $700 to have one website designed, and I figured I'm going to have some more websites. I'm going to want, separate, for each entity that I have, and I'm not ready to pay $700 for each website design. However, I'm excited about being halfway through designing this website. The website will be for a new brand of gear, and the brand is titled #000 manifesto. Yeah. And it will be available on, the website will be able to access through original general orders, mindset designs, general orders, mindset designs.com, and that's coming soon. So with that said, family, we bid you a peaceful day. Peace and love, original nation. Assalamu alaikum.